As authors, especially new authors just starting out, one of the most crucial yet difficult things they'll face, even more difficult than writing a book, can be getting much needed Amazon reviews. Every book needs a minimum of 50 reviews, and for new authors, reaching this goal can be a huge hurdle to accomplish. Unfortunately, the biggest majority of readers never leave Amazon reviews for the books they read. In polling a readers group that I'm a part of, the main thing I hear about why they don't review books is because they're not writers, so they're intimidated by the process of trying to review a book on a public platform. They think their writing skills aren't good enough, or they simply don't know how to start. With that in mind, I've assembled a few tips on how to write a good Amazon review that other readers will actually read. Tip number 1. Before you try to write your first review, it's important to know that you need an Amazon account and you must have spent a minimum of $50 on Amazon in the last 12 months. Now, for most people, this minimum spend amount won't be an issue, but I thought it was worth a short mention. Also, you don't need to have purchased the book on Amazon to leave a review. That said, verified reviews, which are books purchased through Amazon, do carry more weight. So if I review a book that I read through Kindle Unlimited, that I read through a library loan, I always start the review with a statement of that sort. I found this book on Kindle Unlimited and blah, blah, blah. Even though the review won't have the verified purchase status, it still gives the sort of evidence that I read the book through another avenue. Tip number 2. An easy way to start your review is to give a short reason for why you bought the book. Is murder mysteries your favorite genre? Did the book cover especially appeal to you? Did the book's tagline draw you in? Do you have an interest in cooking and this cookbook is just what you've been looking for? Did you find the book while searching for ways to improve your business practices? There's no need to go into exhaustive detail, but just a short sentence can be an easy way to start your review. Tell what you loved about the book. Did you have a favorite character? If so, tell readers why. Did they resonate with you or your life in some way? Did you enjoy their humor? Were they easy to cheer on? Did they overcome obstacles in a believable way? What did you like about the story itself? Was it well written and well edited? If so, this is a great thing to include because it's a major thing other prospective readers want to know. Were the characters for the most part likable? Did the unlikable ones show positive growth throughout the book? Or did the ones who deserved it get their due justice? Were the plot twist in the book that took you by surprise? Without leaving spoilers, this is another great thing to include. Wow, that plot twist at the end blew me away. It's a great way to build anticipation for prospective readers. Did you particularly enjoy the book's setting? Did the author do a great job of painting the scene for you? If so, include this and tell what you liked. Did the sun-drenched beach setting make you want to dip your toes in the sand? Did the hoity-toity glitz and glamour high society setting give you a much-needed escape from the doldrums of your own life? Did the simple country setting make you feel like a warm hug on a hard day? Readers love to be fully immersed in an amazing setting, so if something about the book's scenes did that for you, mention it and try to find exciting and compelling ways to describe what you loved. Instead of saying exciting, say it was a pulse-pounding adventure. Maybe the romance was swoon-worthy and steamy. Maybe the sci-fi book was an out-of-this-world epic adventure of roller coaster thrills. These are just examples, so use your own creativity to describe how the book made you feel. As you read, take note if a scene made you laugh, made you cry, or made you angry, and mention them without leaving spoilers. Did the author or a character say or think something that stuck out as poignant or touching or life-affirming? That's a great thing to mention because readers love knowing they're about to embark on a book that might leave them with all the feels. How did the book make you feel overall? Did you turn the last page feeling happy, encouraged, fulfilled, frustrated? Every reader will walk away with a different take on what they've just read. So remember, you're giving your honest opinion. It's okay if other readers' opinions differ from yours. In fact, I think that's what makes your review special and even more thought out. Tip number 3, give a critique of the book. If there was something about the book that didn't float your boat, let other readers know that, but always be kind when giving a less than glowing critique. Was a character mean for no reason through the book and wasn't redeemed in some way at the end? You might say something like, Bill was a cringy character through the whole book, and I would have liked seeing him treat Susie better by the end. Was the setting not painted in a way that easily placed you into the scene? Was the dialogue stilted and unbelievable? Or were some or all characters written in a way that made them seem one-dimensional or cardboard? Were there multiple glaring typos? Was the overall prose unappealing and hard to read? As you read, take note of strong feelings or emotions because those could be great things to mention in your review. Tip number 4. I'm not a fan of the recent trend of trigger and content warnings, but most authors these days almost always include them in books, which is fine, I guess, because it does help readers make informed decisions. That said, you might pay attention to things in the book that could be upsetting to readers, and, as always, without spoilers, include that information in your review. Now, just because something was triggering for you doesn't mean it'll be triggering for others, so always be kind. I always make a statement in my reviews if books contain what I consider excessive profanity, especially certain words, or excessive sexual content, so other people who are sensitive to such things can be warned. Before I read a book from an unknown author outside of my safe genres, I always read the bad reviews to see if other readers mention excessive profanity or sexual content. These mentions help me walk away from a book that would be offensive to me. It's a service we readers can provide for other readers. Number 5, can you compare the book to another more popular book or author, especially if the book you're reading was written by a lesser known author? If it's a mystery, does the writing style remind you of Mary Higgins Clark or James Patterson? Does the horror book remind you of Stephen King or Dean Koontz? Does the romance remind you of Nicholas Sparks or Taylor Jenkins Reid? If you get a specific familiar feel from the book, that's a great thing to include in the review because it'll help give readers who may not be familiar with the author a frame of comparison. Statements like, Mary Higgins Clark is my favorite suspense author, and this book reminds me of her writing style. 5 stars. I highly recommend. Or, if you love James Patterson, I recommend you try this 4-star book. These are great ways to end your review. I'm not only an avid reader, but I'm also an avid reviewer. So I review most books I read, especially for lesser known authors, and these are a few things I always incorporate into my reviews. As a reader, you may not be comfortable with the thought of leaving a public review on places like Amazon, but I'd like to encourage you to leave reviews on books you read, especially for lesser known authors who don't have a lot of reviews, and especially if you love the book. Now, most authors have plenty of haters out there who love destroying authors in public reviews, so they really need the nice people who love their books to step up and leave reviews to help overshadow all those haters out in the world. I know this is a lot of information to take in and can make writing your first reviews daunting, so starting out, it's okay if reviews are short and sweet. As with most things, robust and informative reviews are the most helpful to prospective readers, but until you get the hang of leaving reviews and feel more comfortable, it's okay to start out simple. This was my first time to read this author and I loved it. 5 stars and I highly recommend. Short and sweet reviews are better than no reviews at all. I will say when I leave reviews, especially for famous authors who have tens of thousands of them, sometimes if I'm short on time, I'll skip the written review, but at a minimum, I always give a star rating. When an author spends months of their life writing and editing a book, especially lesser known authors who really need the reviews, leaving one is the perfect way for readers to give back to the author. As a rule, every book needs a minimum of 50 reviews. So if you read one that has less than 50, please consider leaving a review, especially if you enjoyed it. Authors truly do appreciate readers who take the time to help them out in this way. Let me know in the comments if you review the books you read, and if not, why. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you'd like to be notified when I release new content, I'd love it if you would follow me. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon.